As humans, we're aware that death is unavoidable, but we never think it's going to be today. It's a reality that no one gets to predict for how long they will live. Now, many people around the world fear traveling by air just because if something happens all of a sudden, there's little you can do to save yourself. A similar thing happened on US Airways Flight 1549. Imagine boarding a plane, and then, right after takeoff, you believe you're gonna die. Today, we're gonna talk about how an airplane managed to land on the Hudson River just minutes after takeoff, and the heroic action of the working crew and rescue teams that prevented a tragedy. So, let's get into it. January 15th, 2009. US Airways Flight 1549. An Airbus A320 took off from LaGuardia Airport in New York City, bound for Charlotte Douglas International Airport in North Carolina. The flight was carrying 150 passengers and 5 crew members, and was under the command of Captain Sully Sullenberger and First Officer Jeffery Skiles. Both men were highly experienced pilots, with Captain Sully flying for 30 years and co-pilot Jeffery Skiles, respectively, for 24 years. So let's look into the structure of the airplane. The Airbus A320 is a twin-engine narrow-body airliner manufactured by Airbus, one of the largest and most technologically advanced aircraft manufacturers in the world. The A320 family, of which the A320-214 is a member, is the best-selling single-aisle aircraft family in the world, with over 8,000 units delivered as of January 2020. US Airways, which merged with American Airlines in 2015, the largest airline in the world, with a fleet of over 930 aircraft and routes to destinations all over the globe. The airline had a strong safety record and a reputation for providing reliable and efficient service to its passengers. Now, the flight was scheduled to fly the route from LaGuardia to Charlotte. The flight number was US 1549 and took off at 3:24 p.m. But it was only in the air for a total of 208 seconds before making a planned water landing on the Hudson River, known in the aviation industry as a planned water ditching. An Airbus A320 took off from LaGuardia Airport in New York City at around 3:25 p.m. with a scheduled destination of Charlotte Douglas International Airport in North Carolina. The biggest fear that most pilots have while flying an airplane is crashing. The reason is that no matter how many precautionary measures you take, accidents can still happen. The same was experienced on this specific flight. Just minutes after takeoff, the plane struck a flock of Canadian geese. This bird strike caused both engines to fail. The pilot made repeated attempts to start the engine, but was unsuccessful. So with no other options available, Captain Sully made the decision to ditch the plane on the Hudson River. The successful ditching and evacuation of the aircraft, dubbed the Miracle on the Hudson, resulted in no fatalities, only minor injuries, and hypothermia among the passengers and crew requiring hospitalization. The incident happened quickly. Just 22 seconds after the bird strike, Captain Sully made a mayday call and calmly reported the situation to air traffic control and requested for return to LaGuardia Airport. However, as the situation progressed, it became clear that returning to LaGuardia was not going to be possible, and the pilots requested landing options at Teterboro Airport in New Jersey. They were cleared for an approach to runway 1, but quickly responded that they also would not be able to make that and would end up in the Hudson River. The radio audio from the air traffic control recording, which was released following the investigation, demonstrates the professionalism and quick thinking of the controllers and the aircrew during this critical incident.
Cactus 1529 over the George Washington Bridge wants to go to the airport right now.
Wants to go to our airport. Check. Does he need assistance?
Yes, it was a bird strike. Can I get him in for runway 1?
Runway 1, that's good.
Cactus 1529, turn right 280, you can land runway 1 at Teterboro.
We can't do it.
Okay, which runway would you like at Teterboro?
We're going to be in the Hudson.
It offers a glimpse into the intense pressure and split-second decision-making that occurred during the Miracle on the Hudson. The incident was also depicted in the 2016 movie Sully, directed by Clint Eastwood, which tells the story of the incident and the pilot's experience. Now, we're all aware of the fact that water landings, also known as a ditching, are extremely rare and considered to be one of the most dangerous scenarios for pilots. However, the successful outcome of this incident justifies the use of the phrase "miracle on the Hudson." There are procedures and guidelines in place for water landings provided by aircraft manufacturers and regulators, but it's an extremely rare occurrence in practice. It's a testament to the skill and training of the pilots, Captain Sully and First Officer Skiles, that they were able to execute such a challenging maneuver and ultimately save the lives of all the passengers and crew members on board. You might be surprised to know that the incident of US Airways Flight 1549 landing on the Hudson River was met with an immediate response from rescue boats and emergency services. As soon as the airplane made contact with the water, several boats close to the scene rushed to assist. The first to arrive were 2 New York waterway ferries, which immediately began taking passengers on board. Other boats, including the Coast Guard, were also quick to respond and arrived on the scene shortly after. On the shore, emergency services were assembled and ready to assist in the rescue effort. Thanks to the quick response from the rescue boats and emergency services, all passengers were successfully removed from the plane and water within 24 minutes of the ditching. This swift action played a crucial role in the overall success of the rescue operation and the survival of all passengers and crew members on board. The weather report that day was 19 degrees Fahrenheit, which meant that many more passengers on board the flight could have suffered from hypothermia if quick action had not been taken. Captain Sully and First Officer Skiles had a combined total of nearly 30,000 flight hours, with Sully having over 19,000 hours of flight experience and Skiles having over 10,000 hours. Both pilots had been with US Airways for over 20 years. The flight attendants on board, Doreen Welsh, Sheila Dail, and Donna Dent, had also been with the airline for several years and were experienced crew members. The successful evacuation of all passengers, despite the extremely challenging circumstances, was a testament to the skill and training of the pilots and the flight attendants. Now the question is, what were the after effects of this incident? In the aftermath of the crash, the National Transportation Safety Board conducted a thorough investigation of the incident and ditching. This investigation examined all aspects of the crash, including the piloting and technical aspects of the incident. It made several recommendations for improvements to prevent similar incidents from happening in the future. The investigation concluded that the cause of the crash was due to the ingestion of large birds into both engines, resulting in a near total loss of thrust in both engines. Simulator reenactments of the flight were also conducted on Airbus flight simulators, focusing on the possibility of returning to LaGuardia or diverting to Teterboro Airport. These robotic simulations showed that an immediate return to an airport was a possibility, but not when the human aspect was considered, and a reaction delay was added. The investigation ultimately determined that Captain Sully's decision to land on the Hudson River was the only option for survival. Miracles like this are really hard to come by these days. However, we recognize the capabilities of Captain Sully and his crew in handling the accident. The miracle on the Hudson serves as a reminder that in the face of adversity, the human spirit can rise to meet any challenge and overcome any obstacle.